History, a tapestry woven from threads of triumph and tragedy. It's a saga of empires rising and falling, of battles won and lost. Yet, amidst the chronicles of glory, some defeats resonate with a chilling intensity, forever etching themselves into the annals of human history. These are not mere setbacks, they are cataclysmic events that shatter empires, rewrite destinies, and serve as stark reminders of the capricious nature of fate. They expose the fragility of power, the hubris of men, and the enduring consequences of miscalculation. These defeats leave an indelible mark on the collective memory of civilizations. The humiliation, the despair, the sheer terror experienced by the vanquished. These emotions transcend time, echoing through the ages and serving as cautionary tales for generations to come. Such defeats force us to confront the darker aspects of human nature, the capacity for cruelty, and the capricious hand of fate that can transform victors into victims in the blink of an eye. In the annals of military disasters, few events resonate with the same chilling intensity as the Battle of Teutoburg Forest. This clash, which unfolded in the heart of Germania in 9 AD, pitted the might of the Roman Empire against a confederation of Germanic tribes led by the cunning chieftain Arminius. At stake was not just territory or tribute, but the very future of Roman expansion into northern Europe. The legions of Rome, renowned for their discipline and efficiency, seemed poised to crush any resistance they might encounter. The Roman Empire, under the reign of Emperor Augustus, stood at the pinnacle of its power. Its legions, led by experienced generals, had conquered vast swaths of territory, from the sun-baked deserts of North Africa to the rugged hills of Britannia. Their reputation as an unstoppable force preceded them, striking fear into the hearts of those who dared oppose them. Augustus, eager to cement his legacy, envisioned expanding the empire's borders to encompass the entirety of Germania, a vast and untamed land east of the Rhine River. Yet beneath the veneer of invincibility, cracks were beginning to show. Publius Quinctilius Varus, the Roman general tasked with consolidating control over Germania, proved to be a poor choice for this critical assignment. A career administrator with limited military experience, Varus underestimated both the cunning of his adversaries and the treacherous terrain he was entering. He allowed himself to be drawn deeper and deeper into Germania, lulled into a false sense of security by the seemingly peaceful demeanor of the Germanic tribes. Arminius, a Germanic prince who had served in the Roman army and earned Roman citizenship, was secretly plotting the downfall of his former masters. He understood Roman military tactics intimately, knew their strengths and weaknesses, and recognized the opportunity presented by Varus's arrogance. With calculated cunning, he played the role of the loyal ally, all the while orchestrating a rebellion that would shake the Roman world to its core. As Varus's legions marched through the dense Teutoburg forest, a sense of unease settled over the Roman ranks. The forest, with its towering trees and tangled undergrowth, was an unsettling place, and the silence was broken only by the ominous creaking of branches and the rustle of unseen creatures. Little did they know that they were walking into a carefully laid trap, one that would forever alter the course of Roman history. Arminius, using his knowledge of the terrain and his feigned loyalty, had skillfully maneuvered the Roman army into a vulnerable position. The legions, stretched out in a long, winding column, were ill-prepared for an attack, their movements hampered by the dense forest. The stage was set for an ambush, a sudden and devastating assault that would exploit the Romans' vulnerability and shatter their aura of invincibility. Section 5. 3 Days of Terror. The legions encircled. With terrifying swiftness the trap was sprung. Germanic warriors, armed with swords, axes, and spears, surged from the trees, unleashing a torrent of violence upon the unsuspecting Roman soldiers. The initial attack, a chaotic whirlwind of blood and steel, threw the Roman ranks into disarray. The element of surprise, coupled with the constricted terrain, neutralized the Romans' superior training and equipment. Chaos reigned as the legions, caught off guard and hampered by the dense forest, struggled to form a cohesive defense. The Germanic warriors, fighting with the fury of cornered wolves, pressed their attack relentlessly, exploiting every opening, every moment of Roman hesitation. The forest, once a place of eerie silence, now echoed with the clash of steel, the screams of the wounded and the dying groans of Roman soldiers. Section 6. The Massacre unfolds. A harrowing defeat. For 3 days and nights the battle raged, a desperate struggle for survival against overwhelming odds. The Romans, their formations shattered, fought with the courage born of desperation, but the outcome was never in doubt. Surrounded, outnumbered, and outmaneuvered, they were cut down in droves, their discipline and training no match for the ferocity of the Germanic onslaught. Arminius, a brilliant tactician and a master of psychological warfare, ensured that the Romans were given no quarter. The forest floor became a charnel house, littered with the bodies of Roman soldiers, their armor hacked and pierced, their faces frozen in expressions of terror and agony. The air, thick with the stench of blood and death, bore witness to the slaughter, a testament to the savagery of the fighting and the crushing weight of Roman defeat. Section 7. Aftermath and Humiliation, Rome Reeling. When the news of the disaster at Teutoburg Forest reached Rome, it was met with disbelief and then with a wave of raw terror. The defeat was not merely a military setback, it was a psychological earthquake that shook the very foundations of Roman power. The legions, long considered invincible, had been utterly destroyed, their standards captured, their eagle, the symbol of Roman might, lost. The humiliation was profound, the loss of prestige immeasurable. Augustus, the emperor who had prided himself on bringing peace and prosperity to Rome, was said to have wandered the halls of his palace, his hair disheveled, his face pale with shock, repeating over and over, "Quintilius Varus, give me back my legions." The defeat exposed the limits of Roman power, the vulnerability of their legions in the face of determined resistance and skilled leadership. It also shattered the aura of invincibility that had surrounded the Roman army, emboldening enemies and potentially sowing the seeds of future rebellions. Section 8. Echoes of Defeat. Comparisons and Contrasts. Throughout history, empires and nations have experienced crushing defeats, but few stand out as starkly as the Battle of Teutoburg Forest. The scale of the Roman defeat, the completeness of their annihilation, and the psychological impact it had on both the victors and the vanquished, set it apart as a uniquely humiliating event. It shattered the myth of Roman invincibility and exposed the limitations of their military might. The Battle of Cannae, where Hannibal's Carthaginian army encircled and decimated a larger Roman force, stands as a comparable military disaster for Rome. However, while Cannae was a tactical masterpiece by Hannibal, it did not result in the utter annihilation of the Roman army, nor did it have the same long-lasting strategic implications as Teutoburg. Rome, despite the staggering losses at Cannae, was able to recover and ultimately defeat Hannibal. Section 9. The Shameful Legacy, a stain on Roman history. The Battle of Teutoburg Forest would cast a long shadow over Roman history. The Romans, obsessed with avenging the defeat, launched a series of brutal punitive expeditions into Germania, but they never again attempted to conquer and annex the territory permanently. The Rhine River became a fixed border of the Roman Empire, a stark reminder of the limits of their power. The defeat also had a profound impact on Roman military thinking. Future emperors and generals, haunted by the specter of Teutoburg, would exercise greater caution in their dealings with Germanic tribes, recognizing the strategic importance of choosing their battles carefully and never underestimating their adversaries. The memory of Varus's defeat served as a cautionary tale, a stark reminder of the price of arrogance and overconfidence. Section 10. Lessons Unlearned. The Perils of Hubris and Overconfidence. The Battle of Teutoburg Forest serves as a timeless reminder of the perils of hubris and the importance of understanding one's enemies. Varus's arrogance, his belief in the inherent superiority of Roman arms, and his underestimation of both Arminius's cunning and the fighting prowess of the Germanic tribes proved to be his undoing. The Romans, blinded by their past successes, had failed to adapt to a new enemy and a new type of warfare. The disaster at Teutoburg highlights a recurring theme in history, the tendency for powerful empires to become complacent, to underestimate their enemies, and to overreach. It serves as a stark warning against the dangers of imperial hubris and the importance of humility, adaptability, and a deep understanding of the cultural and strategic landscape in which one operates. Section 11. Conclusion: The Enduring Significance of Defeat. The Battle of Teutoburg Forest, a pivotal moment in history, marked the end of Roman expansion into Germania. It reshaped Europe's political landscape and left an indelible mark on the Roman psyche. This defeat reminds us of the fragility of power and the enduring consequences of miscalculation. The echoes of that ancient battle still resonate today, urging us to remember the lessons of the past.